we grow. Using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Christo.
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Today, Crystal, we are going to have a fantastic show. Got a very special guest in our studios.
Yes, we do. I have had the pleasure of consulting with her on her business on her accounting, and she has just been such a delight. Because sometimes it's not, sometimes it's not,
Yeah,
but she has been.
she's the kind of clients we like, right?
Yeah, and I love her energy, and she has a great business idea. So I'm excited to have her come on and talk about her business and where she's going. And it's not just I mean, it is about her doing social media management, but she has another twist to it. She really has um a desire to help other businesses, and I think we kind of connected because when she heard that I ran Recycling Black Dollars, she that's kind of where her spirit is. So we kind of like-minded kindred spirits there, and she's doing the same thing for her network of people. And
That means she's got that professional helper DNA in her, just like we do.
yeah, exactly. And care about her people, and so that's cool. So she's really cool. I like her
Love it.
vibe. As the
Love it.
kids
Love
would
it.
say, I like her vibe.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So my
And I love it.
co-host,
And
go
I
ahead.
love it when someone pops, I mean, at her age, decides, hey, you know what? I think there's some bigger dreams out on the other side of the countryside. So I'm going to
Yeah.
go and I'm going to explore. So she packed up her little bags and came on out here. I believe by herself, she'll let you know. But she's pretty much solo out here finding her way. And I really admire people that can pack up and leave their homes, their comfort zones, and their security blankets, and come on out and make a new world for themselves. So
You know,
that's
the
what
more
I was
the
impressed by.
more the more I hear about our guest, Crystal, is the more I'm thinking that she's so much in line with us because we did the same thing too. I packed my crap. I came to this country with $200 in my pocket. Remember,
Oh yeah.
$200. And when I got out of that airport, the taxi driver jacked me $50 out of my $200.
I
And
just remember
I ended up with 150, 150. And then
that.
and then I had to try to make that 150 last, and now look at me, huh? Look at me. Two houses later, a business, some degrees, entrepreneurship, a lot of training hours under my belt, over 10,000 training hours. So $100 million in contract award, and a wonderful co-host on the show, huh?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I didn't come that way though. My mother brought me out here.
But you still came from somewhere else,
Yeah, I
right?
came. Yeah, I came from the East Coast, but I came with that spirit. But I
So
had that
so you came with
entrepreneur
a
spirit.
suitcase of money? Is that it? You came with a
No, I
suitcase of
came with my security blanket, which was my mom, and so I went to school here, and but I had her behind. She was my cheering team, my rah
money?
rah team. So whatever I was doing, she was all for it. But I've made my space here, and most of my family is on the East Coast, but I do have a sibling here,
Yeah.
and some other family members here. But I don't know if I told you, I have a brand new grandniece, and she was born.
Oh yes,
She was
she was born in
born.
Egypt.
She was born, and she is actually living in Egypt. So she is
Oh,
born in Egypt. Let me see if I can
uh-huh.
share with you guys my new grandniece, and so she's absolutely beautiful. My niece told me the other day. She goes, she was trying to get her to do something, and she says, she has a personality. I said she does. And she goes, yeah. She doesn't do things you don't want her to do. I said, now I wonder why that sounds familiar.
You know, the Egyptians are the blacks of the Middle East, right? You
They
know that.
are. They
Yes.
are. Yeah.
so 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 already she got that going for her.
That she does. She got that, and she's got her. But my niece is adorable, and she's a beautiful young lady, and
Beautiful.
and she's gonna be a beautiful mom. Actually, she has been she and the baby was kind of born small, but
Hmm.
she is growing. And
Yeah.
the other day when I talked to her, we were video chatting. So the other day, the baby actually had her eyes open and she was looking. And let me see if I can share you guys with my niece because I'm very proud of her, like a proud granny. But this
Hey,
is
I
my
hear that.
grandniece.
Oh,
So
look at her. Look at her
there's
looking
my
all cozy and comfortable. Look at
yeah,
her.
she's all cozy and comfortable, and her name is Leanne. And
Uh-huh.
so, very proud. New addition to our family. So that's
That
Leanne.
is cool. That is cool.
Currently, she's living in Egypt. So I will be going to visit her in probably the first part of September.
Oh man, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm
Amazing.
going. Yeah, I'm gonna go
That's
visit
that's
her.
that's great, co-host. That is
Yeah.
great.
Yep. So we chit chat every other day, and I get to
Yes.
see her. And it right now it's super hot in Egypt, so the baby was born during a super hot time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how was your week? Hey, you got to talk to my biz camp kids 2 days
Oh
ago.
yes, that was great. I really enjoy that, man. I really enjoy it. And just like I said on the program, I really love talking to young entrepreneurs because young entrepreneurs to me are like a lot of my women clients is they listen. They listen. They follow instructions, and they listen. They pay attention and they do the work. So I
Right.
love that. I love it, man.
And were you not impressed with how the questions they were
I,
asking?
I was very impressed, and I still can't remember the name of one of them. There's a little one that he just sounds like a 40-year-old,
Zach?
Probably him. He was talking about the one who was explaining, and then he was laughing and saying, "Oh, yeah, see this project, the way it is, it's crumbling right now in front of me. But I just think it's going to be great because it has a great ingredient of a successful project." I'm going,
Yeah, that's
I'm
Zach.
going, I'm going, man, this little kid, man, he sounds like a man.
And wasn't he the one that asked you? So my dad has a couple of
Yes,
ink companies, and then he has an LLC. So why does he
yes,
have the LLC?
yes, 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 yes. I love him. I love him.
and,
So,
and and I was getting texts and emails all throughout the evening
oh,
on
yeah.
should I be applying for my EIN?
Oh,
Should I be a LLC or S?
I
And if you don't
love
do
it.
anything yet,
I
you just
love
wait
it.
because you haven't launched yet. So
I
we were getting
love it.
those calls. And then the next day we do a cahoots just to see what they remember. Oh,
Yeah,
they were on point.
they're
These
on
kids,
point. They
they
took
were on
notes,
point.
huh?
They took notes. So
Well, I told Miss Rhonda that I'm willing to come back next Wednesday and teach them some more. So, she said, let's lock it in. So, any questions they have, man, I'm ready for it. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they're a
if
smart bunch of kids. So
oh, I
we
love them. I love them.
today I had them do so everyone every summer at the same time in the month of July I do a biz camp, a youth biz camp for kids supposedly between the ages of 13 and 18. But this year we have 3 kids that are under 13.
Yeah.
Zach being one, he's I think he's 11. Then we have Anthony. Anthony is 10, and Anthony has been in business since he was 6, and selling cups, and he bedazzles cups. And oh man, is he a little old man, consummated businessman. And And so I do this program, and we teach kids how to be entrepreneurs. And at the end of the month, they are actually going to be competing in a biz competition, biz plan competition.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a graduation, and we compensate the kids. And so we have 38 amazing kids.
Yeah, that's great, man. I saw the numbers. I said, this is good, because this is one of your highest numbers, right? You've had in a long time.
Actually, we our goal is 50 kids. So normally we do 50 kids, but last
Okay.
year, so this year, because we're still virtual, and I think we're going to stay virtual because we have kids that are all over LA County, and some out in Ventura as well.
I think it will do your program well if you do it virtual, continuously, because since they're calling in from different state, counties, and all of that, so.
And we have a couple of interns. Our interns are out of town. One is in New York, one is in Georgia. So it gives us a little bit more flexibility. But last year we had 50 kids, and so this year we have 38 kids. We partnered up with some others, but I mean, these are great kids. So pretty much all of them. We had more, and the ones that we have very stringent requirements for them to be there. They can't be late. They can't be absent for more than 3 times. They can't be late. They have to dress a certain way. And if that doesn't work, then oh well.
otherwise they get kicked out of the program.
Yeah, they get kicked.
See, we gotta do that for our adult clients too, man, because they just take this all willy-nilly. They don't take it seriously. We don't put too much restrictions on them, so they don't do their homework assignment. They don't upload their documents in their back office. So they keep telling you that stuff is not working, but they don't realize that the reason it's not working is because their back office is not populated. Therefore, they have the documents they need to do make decisions in their business. So we're gonna have to do that too.
You gotta be tough. Yeah, we're pretty tough. So they have we work with Google Classroom. They have to upload their documents and share them with us, so we know that they're doing their homework. They have to keep their cameras have to be on the whole time. We have to see faces, and there has to be interaction because and if they're not there, it's so much information being generated on a daily basis that if you miss a day, that's it. Even if you miss the first half of the morning, if you 10 minutes late, you done already missed a whole lot. So
exactly.
So and they have to wear a certain dress because being in business is discipline. You have to be disciplined. So
have to be disciplined. And make sacrifices.
Yes, exactly. And we tell them that. So they'll go, well, I have to go camping with my family. Okay. But do know we're docking because they get a stipend. You do know we're docking your stipend because you have a choice. We understand you can't stay at home, but we can't make an allowance for one and not the other. But a phenomenal group of kids, they fall right on in. We tell them the rules of engagement on when they're interviewed. Very first meeting with us, this is our rule of engagement. So if it's too much, too overwhelming, we understand. This is just not for you.
I like that, man. I'm gonna adopt the same thing in my adult program, because these adults, man, if I get 40 people in the class, maybe 15 will do the homework. The other 25 is just they're all lollygagging, coming up with all kinds of excuses. I'm sure when our guests come on, she's gonna tell us too about some of the challenges that she faces with some of her clients, when she puts campaigns and she puts plans together and give them to implement. And they're going, well, I had to go to the doctor's last week because my dog lost a tooth.
Right. So you have to set standards. So we have standards, but they're awesome. So you guys, so this year we're doing a field trip, taking the kids to Junior Achievement on next Tuesday.
Good.
And then next week is the 3rd week. So now we're really into getting the plan done. They're going to start presenting their plan so when are you doing market day? Like when they're going to market their products? Which day are you doing that? Sales day.
Sales day, yeah.
Yeah, sales day is next Saturday, the 23rd.
Oh, okay.
But
So
right now they're actually selling. We actually kicked off sales day the July 5th.
yeah,
Um, but they got their investment, their
hmm
sales day investment on last Saturday, and so now they should be selling. They can be selling every
yeah,
day up to the 23rd, but the
yeah,
official day is
yeah.
the 23rd.
Right.
And so we already got a kid, little Anthony. Little Anthony's probably sold over $75 worth of product already.
Man. See, I love that. I love that. I love that,
so
man.
so I'm, this is my passion project that I do every year, and it makes me excited. It just, my calendar gets crazy because the first half of my day is booked, so
Yeah.
everything has to then take place from 1:30 on. So I'm back to back to back to back to back. I'm teaching classes in the evening and consulting in between and teaching classes in the morning. So by the 29th, I'll be ready for a vacation in August.
Man, man, I'm excited for you. Just the fact that you're excited doing what you do, because you do a great job with these young entrepreneurs. The last two seasons, you took them to like this major competition where your kids won first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place, all in a row, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else, came in after that, and there were about 600 participants in the
I know it wasn't
competition.
that many, but they were, it was 40 something schools.
Uh,
43, well, actually it was 43 schools, 19 school 43 students, 19 schools. Now last year we came in second place, but we didn't have a big number. But
yeah,
this crew of kids, which is
yeah,
the kids we usually take into that competition, oh,
yeah.
they're gonna be off the chain. They we
Uh,
we may take first, second, and third, fourth, fifth next year
I'm
because these
gonna I'm
kids
gonna
are
have
on
to come
point.
up with some gifts for them too, man. I'm gonna have to give them some prizes or something,
Yeah.
to encourage them. So yeah, I love that, man. I love doing that. So for those of you who are listening, you're just tuning into the Business Zone. This is the Business Zone with Coach Crystal and Coach Gilbert Buchanan. And we're on every Friday from 3 to 4 or 4:30 if our guests make it interesting and exciting. We'll go to 4:30. So that's what we do here on the Business Zone. Our purpose here, our mission is to help small businesses. We provide advice, coaching, support services, technical support, and we also bring you on to our show as a guest so you can talk about your business. We get to promote you. And we don't just promote you in our regional area, in our community, we promote you internationally because we've got a wide audience. We got audiences in Venezuela, in Ghana, in South Africa. Where else do we have a co-host? Where do we have some of our
Actually,
listeners?
sometimes we have a few listeners in Russia.
Well, see, we even got the Russians, even got the Russians checking out the
Don't know,
Business Zone.
don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but
if ever we hear this on YouTube, we hear it's a businessman, entrepreneur. Then we know the Russians are really catching on. We know they're catching on.
right,
Okay.
exactly. And Gilbert, before we go into our guests, and I'm excited about that, but this year, actually last Friday,
Uh huh.
we are celebrating our 6th year on the
Yes.
air. So
Yes.
6 years ago on July 8th, we launched our business. We launched the Business Zone, and
Yes, yes, yes.
yes, we're excited about that.
Congratulations to the Business Zone, guys. This is our 6th year on the air. We started out in radio, and because of the pandemic, we have to transition to the podcast mode, which is still live on air because we're doing it live on YouTube, live on Facebook. So this is our 6th year, guys. If you want to check out some of our previous shows, you can just go to YouTube and type the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. You'll see all our videos with all our guests on the show and different show we've done. We've done some classes online. We call it Class in Session, and we're just excited. So, co-host, we should do something special. What do you think?
Yeah, we before the end of the month, we're gonna do something special. So we have a library of close to 600 videos on
Yes.
episodes
Yeah.
on our YouTube channel. So go on over
Yeah.
to the Business Zone and make sure you subscribe so that you get notifications. And we finally want to monetize this station, so this channel. So we really need you to go over there and subscribe to our channel, because now we're ready. Because in the very beginning we were in the studio, and
Yes.
all of our likes and everything was going to the studio because we were
Yeah.
under that umbrella. But now we're out here solo. We're going to stay out here solo. I love the studio concept, but
Yeah.
I think we have more control over
Yeah.
the Business Zone by
Over the
doing it this way,
podcast.
over
Yeah.
the podcast. Yeah.
And also, folks, if you subscribe to our program and you're able to help us monetize the program, then we can do some classes live on air. So because of the monetization that we're getting, we are able to do classes live. So, and you guys can interact live and live classes. So that's what we're looking for.
Right. And going to be launching our t-shirt line will be online soon. And our 6th year, I'm gonna create something for the 6th anniversary, so it'll be so you can buy some merch from us. But our job here is to turn your business no's into business yeses. That's what
That's
Gilbert
what
and
I'm
I do.
talking about.
So helping our community with resources and tools to make sure you are a successful business owner. So with that, Gilbert, I am ready to bring on our guests. Are you?
Yes, I.
All righty. So let me get us all prepared so we can bring her on. And we're going to bring her here. And then we're going to bring us here. I'm going to switch us out. There we go.
There, there
There
we
we
go.
go. Hello, Miss Odyssey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're awesome.
We're doing fantastic now that you're on with us. So we're going to learn a lot today about Miss Odyssey and her business, and she'll tell us a little bit about who she is and what the name of her business is. So why don't you tell our audience? You're going to read her bio.
Give her just a brief bio. She'll
Okay.
elaborate. So Miss Odyssey Weathers, she is from Bardstown, Kentucky. That's her. Bardstown, okay. She went to the University of Louisville, Kentucky. She's a graduate. She's a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority.
Yeah.
She's been living in Los Angeles, moved here 2 years ago, and now working as a full-time account manager in the advertising industry, working with clients like Hulu, Netflix, and Apple TV. Plus, she's the founder and visionary of Odd Media Solutions and the BLK Digital Network. So with that, Miss Odyssey, welcome to the Business Zone. We are happy to have you.
I'm so excited to be here, especially listening to all of the conversation that you guys have prefaced with this. Like you said, our missions and how we clicked right up front was literally just because of our similar passions to like helping others. And honestly, you guys are inspiration, both you and Gilbert, just your commitment to helping small businesses and helping other people just in general. So really excited to be here.
Welcome to the Business Zone.
Welcome here. So tell us a little bit more about you. Why Los Angeles? Because New York, Chicago, you could have done the advertising thing there as well.
It's crazy. So I am a summer baby, and I like the summertime. I like warmth. I like, just being in the sun and being able to go outside like at any time of the year. And so that's something that we don't have in Kentucky. There's 4 seasons there, stretched out every single season, and most of the time you're still getting like snow. It's days in like April, May.
I remember that very clearly when I lived in Binghamton, New York. So yes.
So it's like the weather was one big thing. But besides that, honestly, it was really random. Like, well, to me back then it was random. It was just like, it's like Los Angeles, the city of angels, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like the city of dreams that people come to. So it was pretty much just me being like, I knew I wanted to get out of Kentucky and out away from kind of the environment that I grew up in. And I was like you said, it could have been New York, it could have been Atlanta, it could have been any of these places. But I drug my friends out here to visit for my, I think, 23rd birthday in 2018.
Yeah.
And as soon as
Okay.
I was like, okay, this is where I want to be. And so it was history.
Okay. Well, that we are happy that you're here. Now, let me ask this question, because sometimes LA is a little bit to get adjusted to. Did you adjust to it right away?
Absolutely not. So I would definitely say I'm still adjusting. That's a big part of it, especially, and I tell people this all the time because I'm super transparent and I'm an advocate for like things that I go through. That's one thing that I make known to everybody is anything that I go through. I like to tell people, and I'm like, you can do it too. You just have to be in the right headspace and that kind of deal. And so moving out here and coming here, it was just like it was a lot just because one, the price of living obviously is so different. I think when I was living by myself in Kentucky, it was like $800 a month the rent, and out here I pay like $1,900. So it's like,
Oh.
yeah, it's like a different like that.
It's more than double.
That took me, and the first couple of years actually that I worked out here, up until February of this year, I was only doing odd media solution stuff. So it was just and that is a thing in itself, as you guys know, being a business owner. So it's like that transition to being a business owner as well as the transition to moving out here, and the major difference, like I said, it's still something that I would still say I'm getting better. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still something that's like every single day, every single week is like, just having to remind myself and encourage myself to keep going and things like that.
Well, Odyssey, if this is any consolation to you, people from the East Coast usually bring some additional talents to the West Coast. So you blend it all together and you get a much bigger talent pie, okay? Because it was the same thing with me. When I came here, I brought my talent from the East Coast and I blended it in with the West Coast. Crystal did the same thing. She came from Buffalo, New York. So she did the same thing, and it's just amazing because our thought process on the East Coast is a lot different than the West Coast thought process. So when you combine those, man, it's just amazing.
And just
right.
because it is so fast moving here, the resources are available, the opportunities that are available, all of that.
Yeah.
Again, combined.
And if you're in like a business that you're in, and for us, Los Angeles is a top capital for entrepreneurs. We probably have per capita more entrepreneurs here than other states. But like you, when my mom said we were moving to California, I was over the moon because Lord have mercy, get me out of this snow and get me to a place where there's sun. So I am good with 365 days of sun. I am good with the weather, the beach, the outdoors, all that. That's kindness to my soul. The South is not me. Too hot, too many bugs.
That's the part right there.
Yeah, too many bugs, too hot. But we are happy to have you. So tell us about your business.
Okay, so Odd Media Solutions, it started really as kind of just like me trying to get out here. Actually, it's really wild how all of it like fits together because when I made that decision, like, okay, I want to come out here after I visited, it was pretty much like then it was like I quit my full-time job, started working a bunch of part-time jobs and doing like whatever I could to save up as much money as I could. And I actually, at the time, had a friend that was living in the Bay Area. So she was like, if you want, she was like my best friend from college. She was like, if you want, you can come and stay on my couch. So I'm like, okay, that's great. I just need the money part now. So, it's not LA, but it's the Bay Area, which is closer than I am now. So, in doing that and getting out there, I started just freelancing things that I had learned in college. So social media management, doing like email management and text message marketing. I did a lot of experiential marketing, just like showing up and doing in-person events, and did that in college as well as actor. So like just taking skills from like different parts that I picked up. And mind you, up until that point, to me picking marketing as a major was random as well, because it was just like my parents were like, you need to go to college. And I was like, okay, well, I know I want to get away from here, so let me go to college. And then it's like, I know I don't want to be a nurse, and I know I don't want to be a teacher. So what should I do? Let me just, pick something. And so at the time, it seemed very random. But as that now, looking back, I can say that was definitely something that I was supposed to do. And so I started out freelancing bunch of different things, and it was for mainly Black clients, Black businesses that really didn't have the capital to be able to like invest in like actual marketing agencies and advertising agencies, but also something that was kind of recurring within my client base was that they had ran into issues where like they did put their money in places and with businesses and didn't see the kind of return or the results that they wanted to, and so now they're in a space where they're kind of like nervous or scared, they're like hesitant and guarding what little bit of money they do have to invest in themselves. And so it just became a thing where I was good at what I did, and so then other people would refer other clients, and it became to a point where I was like, hey, I'm making enough money to where this could be like like a real thing. And so honestly from there it's just been crazy. It's literally just been figuring it out from there.
And it's interesting because everyone always is saying, I need someone to do my social media. Now, I have a client. In fact, she just liked the video. She is a social media manager, and she's been my client for a number of years. And she is really good at what she does. But not everybody is really good at that area. I mean, they may, and I always tell my clients, just because they know how to use social media for themselves don't mean that they can actually run a successful campaign for you. So can you tell us what that looks like and why, what's the difference?
Of course. So that's kind of the Gilbert spoke to obstacles earlier. That's probably the biggest obstacle that I run into in the line of work that I do is people not understanding the difference between social media for like your own personal life and scrolling through and just using social media for your own personal interest versus using it for business. Like people don't understand that there are like whole agencies that exist to do like one part of social media and to know and have knowledge and be experts in one small part of social media. And so that's the biggest obstacle is people trying to do it themselves at first. And again, as you guys know, Black business owners specifically start out with little to no capital to be able to invest in areas like that. So it's like, and then when they do invest and they don't get that return, they're like, okay, I don't want to invest again. So it's like, it's definitely hard to kind of convince them. But what our process looks like and kind of just quickly what we do is we do everything that we do based on growth and based on strategy. So because a lot of people again just want to do what they do in their personal lives and just like post about whatever it is that they're doing or whatever comes to the mind, but it's like you got to actually set out your goals and lay those out and figure out a strategy and figure out how the posts and what you're saying, literally what you say, what hashtags you use, what the content is, what sounds you use, whether it's a reel or it's a photo or it's a video, like how you promote all of that. You have to think about it before you just do it. And granted, it does work for some people sometimes just doing it naturally, because some people just are doing what they need to do and it works for them. But I would say probably 80 to 85% of the time you have to have a strategy. You have to know what you're talking about. You have to know how to look at what you're doing and look at the results from that and feedback and repivot your strategy. And you have to know how to say, okay, this isn't working for me, or I posted this last week as a static post and it didn't do that well. How can we repurpose that content and turn it into something that does well now? So it's like less work on you and you're not trying to burn out all your ideas that you have, but rather just repurposing it. Because again, the same way that we were just talking about social media is different for individuals versus businesses. Businesses are trying to figure out what individuals are doing on social media. So it's like, you have to know who your audience is, who you're talking to. You have to know what they're doing online. Who are they already interacting with? All of that is like, you can't just post again. It's like literally.
So what would a basic marketing campaign look like for a small business, maybe a minority business? What would that look like?
So it really just depends on those goals. So, and the budget. So, because we don't just do social media, we have 3 umbrellas. We have social media, web design, and more. And so we like to try to focus not just on one specific part of it, but again, a whole strategy, a whole marketing strategy, a whole full customer experience. We focus on the customer's journey. So we want to know, what are you doing to get your clients or your customer base from somebody who doesn't know anything about your business to being a loyal customer who's repeatedly buying from you and who's also promoting your business to other people so that they can be a promoter and do the marketing for you. So essentially what we do in the beginning of our process is we have an audit, which is like spelled ODDIT. And we spend time like looking at the business and look with the owner and asking them like, what are your goals? What is it that you actually want to do? Are you just trying to sell pens, or are you trying to hit certain numbers? Because a lot of times, something that I've noticed amongst just specifically the client base that I've worked with is that you'll have goals, but they aren't necessarily like connected to anything. Does that make sense? Like, I just want to be successful, or I want to make more this year than I did last year, and not necessarily have any purpose or reason behind that. So we really like to, at Odd Media Solutions, we really like to, one, encourage our clients to like dig deeper, like beyond that, like what is, even if it's like, oh, I just want to create generational wealth for, for my kids, or whatever it is, taking that and creating a mission out of it, something that people is like people want to support. So even if it is you're just selling pens, let's turn it into like a movement. Like what does this pen mean, and how can we sell it to this person and make them feel good about purchasing it, to the point that they want to go tell other people about that. And so how we come up with the marketing strategy and to begin with is looking at the audience member, or like people that we're trying to talk to. And so then we can say, well, they're on social media, or they're on, they're visiting your website, or they like to watch YouTube videos or TikToks, whatever it is. And then we create the content or the plan for what we're going to do based on that. So if your audience and who you're talking to is not on social media, why would you post on social media? You know what I mean? Maybe you need more marketing or more email marketing, where you're interacting with them on a more intimate level and giving them experience that makes them, again, go and become a promoter of your business. So it's not necessarily always that social media is the answer. From our perspective for Odd Media Solutions.
I'm sorry, Odyssey. What's the name of your business again? Odd what?
Odd Media Solutions.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So I love that. So you take a whole holistic look at the business and not just focus in on just making sure that they're trending on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or wherever they happen to be, but you actually look at the website to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. And then you said, and the more. What is the more?
Yeah, so literally anything that has to do with marketing. So we've had, and that's kind of where the unique part of Odd Media comes in as well. So under that umbrella of more, in the past, we've done things like out-of-home advertisement, like billboards. We've done like bus stop advertisements. Of course, we do like business cards and branding, things like that. But really anything that, like flyers, menus for, restaurants and like coffee shops that we've done before. It really just helping you market your business forward. So we've actually helped with fundraising campaigns for some of our clients that were doing crowdfunding and trying to, hit a certain number of locations. So we, helping them market that way. So more can literally mean anything that has to do with marketing and growing your business under the umbrella of marketing and advertising. And what makes it really unique is that when, because the social media and web design umbrellas are kind of in-house services that we offer. And so essentially when we have a client that needs something under the More umbrella, that is when we connect with our Black Digital Network, which is a community of Black talent in terms of like Black graphic designers, Black photographers, Black videographers, anything that you can think of, animationists, like sketchers, sketch artists that, you would need for those things. And we connect with them to complete those projects. So then not only are you supporting Odd Media Solutions, but you're also supporting Black talent. And I don't know if we mentioned, but a portion of all the projects that happen through Odd Media Solutions goes to the Black Digital Network. And what we do with those funds is provide free and subsidized marketing services to Black businesses. So
amazing. So you're like your own little Black Fiverr.
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
Whenever you support Odd Media Solutions, you allow us to stay in business so that we can turn around and then, like, what we do is we'll have, Black businesses that come to us and they say, well, we only have a small budget of $5,000, but we need that to last us the whole year. And so we're like, let's see what we can do. And, we have clients that we work with, of course, through Odd Media Solutions. But in order for them to qualify for those subsidized and free services, we connect them with people actually that do things like with accountants, with lawyers, with other things that other service providers who help them kind of solidify their foundation. So that it's not like just like we're giving you free marketing services for something that was inevitably going to fail anyway because you didn't have what you needed over here. But it's more so like we're coming together as a community to kind of help each other. And we might provide free marketing services to that lawyer or to that accountant. And then in turn of that, they provide a subsidized or a discounted rate to that small Black business because they only have You know,
Oh, that's
Cool.
pretty cool. I like that. I like
We
that.
should be
I,
part of the
yeah,
BLK.
exactly. That's what they call it, the BLK.
Yes, the BLK.
So, Odyssey, do you have videos on YouTube?
So no, actually, I have not. We have a few Facebook Live videos that we've done in the past, but as far as like churning out content, that's something that I'm really excited about actually going into 2023 because the Black Digital Network and Odd Media Solutions and the kind of the ecosystem that I just described to you all that launched about a year ago now in June of 2021. And
Yeah.
so for the last year or so, we've literally just been setting up processes, making connections, and collaborating with the talent that makes up the Black Digital Network, as well as just rebranding our organization in order to launch what it is that we're doing now. And so,
Yeah.
going into 2023, that we're heavy on content. We're heavy. That's why I'm excited to be here. We're heavy on content for Odd Media Solutions, our own brand, because we've kind of just been helping out everybody else to the point where we haven't necessarily had time to do things for ourselves and like our.
Well, you definitely got some content today on this show that you can use in your marketing campaign. So this is great.
Yeah.
This is live and official content that you're getting here from Coach Crystal Mitchell and Coach Gilbert Buchanan. Okay.
But
Absolutely.
like I said, it's just so hard to that when we're consulting and we go through our checklist on the things they need. Yeah, obviously for me, my area of expertise is the accounting piece, and that's fantastic. But for me, even when I'm teaching and consulting with a small business on how to launch their business and how to grow their business and how to grow their numbers, well, that has to correlate directly back to their marketing plan. Because
Mhm.
if you're not getting your message out there and not selling your products and your services, then there's no money coming in. So
Right.
on so it's the marketing, right? It has to tie together. And even if I'm looking at a forecast, if I'm forecasting on your business for the next year's revenue, I have to say, okay, so how many people are you going to reach,
Yeah.
and how are you going to increase those numbers and close those deals? So how many people does it take? So if you want to make X amount of dollars at the end of the year, then how you have to see. And if you have to see that many people, how are you going to get to them if you don't have a marketing strategy or a marketing plan?
Exactly. Because it's like even you might reach X amount of people, but only so many of those are going to convert and become those people who are those numbers that you're looking for. So even still having projections and having numbers, and that's one thing. And I'm glad that Gilbert brought it up as well. Just like putting things out there. That's one thing that I've noticed in just pause because I think I haven't clarified either that with Odd Media Solutions we don't necessarily only work with Black businesses. We just work with businesses that are interested in promoting or interested in impacting Black businesses and creating a future for Black businesses. And so through Odd Media Solutions, we work with all kinds of businesses. We have Caucasian clients, we've got Asian clients, everybody.
Right.
So, the common thread there, though, is that they're interested in kind of, and they have some sort of piece of like corporate social responsibility where they want to give back with their business, where they want their business to be more than just, them making money. And so that is where kind of Odd Media Solutions and the Black Digital Network comes in. But I don't think I clarified that earlier, so I didn't want to.
No. We get that. Money is green, girl. Money green. But I do understand you have an emphasis on building within your community and making sure, obviously, that our dollars continue to recycle and support people that look like us, right? And sometimes that's difficult in our community. So I love the way you've kind of created a network so it won't fail, because a lot of Black professionals, we do business and it's like, we can't make no money over here, right? So but you guys have managed to create a holistic community.
I was gonna say, I think a huge part of that is collaboration. Even like what we're doing right here, here right now. Like you have your own thing going on. Gilbert has his own thing going on, but you guys come together and collaborate every Friday, and your impact is able to be, maximized, because now you're coming together and you're combining your community with somebody else's community. And so I think that that's important in business anyway. Something that we get used to as Black business owners is trying to do everything ourselves, or because we don't necessarily have that budget, or we don't want to let go of the dollars. But collaboration makes for better end results, because you got everybody doing the things that they love to do, and then at the end it comes out a more beautiful product versus just you stressing yourself to the wearing yourself thin trying to get everything done, and maybe missing a couple things on the checklist. And so I think a big part of being successful as a business owner is learning where you need to collaborate and where you need to let go and let other people, do their thing and be experts at what they are. And so, I tell people that all the time too, because we're always looking for people to collaborate within Odd Media Solutions. If you're interested in or have expertise in the marketing and advertising world, anything like that, there's so much, there's social media, there's print advertising and marketing, there's experiential that we talked about earlier. And so even, me, I'm not an expert at everything that has to do with marketing. There's certain things that are like my thing. And so collaborating with other people is what allows us as an agency to do better work for our clients, because then we have, again, more people with more ideas and more creative input and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Well, Odyssey, we have a symbiotic relationship proposal for you. So at the end of this show, we'll talk a little bit about it. But we on the business zone here, we value talent and skills, and if we see where you're sharp in certain areas,
Absolutely.
we try to team up with folks. So we're gonna take a look at what you do, your campaigns, and see if your campaign can impact the business zone and impact my business as well.
Yeah. And I think me and Crystal kind of chatted about that briefly when we first were introduced to each other. I would love to be involved, just because, like I said, Crystal has helped me so much just on my accounting and bookkeeping side of things, and even still, we're still meeting. And so
I told you this show today is gonna change your life, right?
And one of the things that Gilbert and I really want, the two show I have, well, this is a business zone and I have another show, but I think and I feel, and one of the reasons that this was so important to have a podcast, and a in the beginning it was a radio show, but a podcast, is because for us, we don't have a central place of resources and conversations that highlight us, right? And to be able to bring on all entrepreneurs that look like us, that are doing some amazing things, and let the community know that they're out there, not by happenstance because we happen to fall into a meeting at the Urban League, or we fall in a meeting at Vermont Slauson, but because we're being deliberate about it, right? So like within right, so like in your network, bringing everyone onto the business zone, letting folks know that these talented human beings are out there you can support. So when someone's calling me going, "Hey, Crystal, can you refer me to someone that does social media?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, let me think about this." And no, oh, wait, yeah, I can refer you over to
there's
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
And Odyssey can help you. And if she can't, she has a whole network of individuals. And in the same way, I mean, we do the relationships we do with the organizations because it expands our network, right? And I was telling someone the other day, I was going to be doing some workshops for them, and so somebody said, "Do you know Crystal?" And she goes, "If you're in this community, I don't know how you don't know her."
If you don't know Crystal in the community, you really don't live in the community.
And when I first started my business, I wanted to make sure that I had a really strong network. So before I even worked on my business, I developed a network. So when we launched the the business zone, and it was an idea, and I was like, okay, I need a really strong partner that we could have some synergy off each other. And so, Gilbert, and everybody in the world has heard the story, but Gilbert and I were doing some work together, and then I asked him, and he's like, yeah, sure. And then after we got to talking, he's like, you do know my degree is in communication. No, I did not know that, but however, that works. So, and I tell my clients, and I tell my kids, I tell the business kids that you can have, everyone I know are business coaches and consultants, right? But we don't compete with each other. We all
Exactly.
have our areas of expertise.
Yeah.
And I have no problem referring someone to Gilbert. He has no problem referring. I'm not concerned about whether you're going to steal my client.
Right.
My client needs your help.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that that's a really big nugget that I've seen repeatedly too in within the client base that I work with, is people being more afraid of collaboration, and thinking that there's some sort of competition there. So that's one thing we always say at iMedia is collaboration over competition, because there's enough out here for everybody to eat, and people are eating right now, and so and a lot of people, and so if you're thinking that that's not going to stop you from getting yours, then that's definitely that's going to become an issue, whether sooner or later within your business. Because again, like I said, eventually you can't do everything. You got to be able to. One big part or lesson that I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey is that you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else or do anything else within your business. And so that's something that I still am learning all the time. But one huge way to be able to do that and to have the actual time, because I know entrepreneurs are like on go all the time, and like, where can I fit in time to take care of myself? Through collaboration, and letting somebody else do something every once in a while, you know what I mean, and not trying to do everything yourself.
Well, wait until you team up with Crystal and I. You're gonna get so many clients. Like Trump used to say, you're gonna win so much, you're gonna be sick of winning. you're gonna get so many clients, you're gonna be sick of all the clients you're getting.
Yeah, sometimes I was like, oh my client. There's a commercial. There's a guy that's on YouTube, and he's selling something, and he says, this is the calendar you want. It's like every little space. And he says, so join up with me and I can make sure every little. No, I don't need no more clients. I don't need all my spaces covered up.
That's what we're gonna do for you. We're gonna make you sick of having clients. You're gonna go, oh, too many clients. I don't need any more.
No, I love to hear it. And I also like the note that you made earlier as well, Crystal, about just being intentional about making with what you're doing and getting the word out there, because that's one really big reason why I started the Black Digital Network and kind of repivoted Odd Media Solutions as I knew it last year, was because as I was trying to become an entrepreneur and make that transition, I realized I'm asking for help, looking for help, reaching for help, trying to find it, and it's taken me up until I met you. You know what I mean? And I'm about to hit I just hit my 2-year mark. So as a business owner, so it took me 2 years to even find, and so for me, I think that issue is marketing, because it does exist. Like you said, it's out there. There are people who want to help you. There are resources that are out there reserved for you, but it's just like the greater population of it, it's not reaching us how it needs to reach us. Like, we're not seeing that, and we're not understanding that it's simple. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we'll see that there's something that's available, and we're thinking, oh, well, I got to do XYZ first, or I got to get this together first. No, those resources exist to help you do that and help you get those together. And so a lot of times, I think, again, it's just the way that it's like marketed to people, in the way that these resources that are out there there's a disconnect in getting to the actual people that want their help or that can use their help. Because like you said, there are those business owners that do all their homework, and there are those business owners that are in it, and they know what it's going to take to get to where they want to be, and then there are people who are just doing it because it's an extra source of money, or just doing it because they're trying a whole bunch of different things and trying to figure out what's right for them. And so the way that you kind of weed out and figure that out is literally by marketing it and connecting it to to the right people. So I think that was a really good point too.
So Odyssey, go ahead, Crystal.
No, I was just saying, and I like the fact that you're of the much younger generation than Gilbert and I love to see you guys are coming with it hard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really encourage that because you are our next generation before
Yeah.
you guys start having families and children and so forth. But you guys are coming at it a lot differently than our generation did, right? Most
Mhm.
of us started out working for someone,
Mm.
right? And intentionally because we had to pay our bills.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I see a lot of you have come out of college and in their second or third or maybe 5 years down the line, you've actually kicked off a business that's actually trending and scalable. I love that.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So in business, as you know, every entrepreneur needs at least 5 category of professionals on their team, right?
Mhm.
You need an attorney.
Mhm.
You need a banker or someone in the finance field that can provide you access to funding, right?
Mhm.
You need a CPA or accountant or bookkeeper, right?
Mhm.
That's one slat right there. You
Mhm.
need an insurance agent.
Mhm.
And of course, you need a professional consultant who know what the hell he or she is talking about.
Yeah.
So those are the 5 professionals you need in your corner.
Mhm.
Now you just joined our team right here. There are 2 of us here already. You're the third one. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now, so now you only need 2 others.
Yeah.
You need an attorney. Well, you need an attorney or three others. You need an attorney, an insurance agent,
Mhm.
and then you need that bank manager or lender.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's
Or at least
that's
a
all.
relationship to
Yeah.
someone that can get them to that person.
Yes. So that's what you need to complete your cycle. I mean, our cycle, we got those going, and we're gonna add you to our team.
I
I'm
love
telling you, it's gonna be phenomenal.
I can't wait. I'm really excited. Like I
Yeah.
said, going into as we prep for 2023 with Odd Media Solutions, that is what going back to that point of intention. That's why we haven't. Another reason why, besides being so busy, why we haven't put anything out or put much out as far as our own social media and our own content is because we do want to be very, very, very intentional about it.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that like I kind of said earlier, that we don't, exclusively work with back businesses, but we do specifically work with them. And I don't want that. And if it scares you away, then you're not part of our client base. You know what I
Right.
mean? If it's something that you don't like to hear. If you don't like to hear that that's like what our main goal and what our mission as an organization is, that's one way that we weed out, who we don't want to work with. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that's just not the type of client that we want. And then leading to the next point, another way that we want to be intentional with our own marketing and advertising is that we want to be a space for where Black people feel safe. Like, so if they come to our social media, if they come to, if they come across Odd Media in any way, shape, or form, whether it be an email or somebody telling them about it, somebody them finding our website or finding us on Google, that they see something that makes them feel safe, or they see something that makes them feel seen and like that empowered, essentially. And like they have a piece in kind of changing the atmosphere as it exists for Black people.
How do customers find you? How do they reach out to you and find you?
You mean how can they or how do they? Like
How can they find you? Do they go to your website? Is there a phone number? How does
yeah,
it
so
work?
you can visit our website, oddmediasolutions.com, or you can reach out to me personally. Phone number is 502-507-1807. That's also on our website. We're on
Five
all
five 502.
507
Uh-huh.
1807.
1807. Okay, perfect.
And
Perfect.
all of that information is also on our website, our social medias, all of that good stuff. We do post. We just don't post consistently right now. Because,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I understand when that's your business, it's hard to right, exactly. You're doing it for everyone else. So
so,
how does I know you indicated which it is when you're first starting out, you have to and I always tell my clients to make sure you have a significant amount of income coming from a resource that
mm,
will allow you to take care of your own financial needs and so that you can build your business. So and I see that you're a professional. I mean, you work for in the advertising agency How does that help you be able to huge sort resources of tools and handy things, because that's part of being a big corporation. So
Yeah.
how has that helped you in running your own business, or making sure that your business is going to grow as well, from the watching a larger organization scale their business?
Yeah, for sure. It's helped so much. Like I said, prior to starting Odd Media Solutions, all of the experience and everything that I do that makes me money through Odd Media Solutions, I learned from previous experience. And so
Mm-hmm.
then I was working just solely for Odd Media Solutions, and even transitioning from working solely to getting back into the world of advertising. And one of the main reasons that I did that was to grow, and through just collaboration. So as an entrepreneur, you're often in, especially in this space, you're often the one that everybody looks to for answers to, to the questions. And you never necessarily have a moment to ask the questions. And so I like being in an atmosphere where there are other people who do the same exact thing as me, and I can ask questions and I can grow from them. And I can learn from them. That's another reason why I love collaborating through Odd Media Solutions, because I learn something new every day. And I consider it a bad day if you haven't learned or you grown in some type of way from the day, anything that's happened, even if it's just today, a random Friday. There's ways that
Mm-hmm.
and things that God sends your way to make you learn and grow as a person. So I definitely feel like as a business owner, you have to one, just be persistent. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you have to know, it's hard. It literally gets hard. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
wake up every morning and be like, okay, this is something that I want to do. And I think that working full time in the advertising agency or in the advertising world helped me regain some of that discipline, because
Okay.
you know what I mean. I get up and I work every single day, and I was doing that before, but it's more so like things are kind of just
Yeah.
mayhem, as a business owner. So having some sort of organization, having some sort of routine, that helped a lot with that. And then the little nugget that you mentioned about just having access to resources and working. I mean, I work with companies like Apple and Netflix and Hulu, and those are, I get to see their advertising campaigns in action and see where they're putting their dollars at, and how
Mm-hmm.
be ensured that their dollars, and that they're seeing a return on their dollars, because these are millions and hundreds of thousands. And so all of that goes back into play, and it helps me better help my clients.
Mm.
So I really enjoy doing that and doing what I do, not to mention just the fact that it's fun, working on movie and TV show advertising campaigns and things like that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I know when I first started my business, I was intentional about going to work for companies and working in their accounting departments, so that I can see from the inside
Right.
what it takes to grow
Exactly.
and run a successful company, right? So the skill sets that I have that I am now able to utilize with my own clients is because I've actually seen it firsthand. I know that it does work.
I think a lot of times too, because this happened with myself. Since I started this current position that I'm in February, I've grown, and I think that's been maybe 6 months. I've grown maybe 10 times more than I did in the first year and a half that I was in business, because now I am in a space where I can grow and I can learn on a daily basis. And so, but it took me a year and a half to decide, okay, I do want to go work for somebody else and be intentional about it, because it was my own mind was in my way. I'm like, well, if I go work for somebody else, that means that, I don't think that my business is as important, or it means that I've given up on my dream and what I want my business to do. But really, that was all a facade, because now, like I said, I've grown times 10 since I've been at the
Right.
agency. And so a lot of times that's another thing you have to deal with as a business owner, is just getting out of your own way. You know what I mean? And letting things happen how they're supposed to happen, and just allowing, your journey to
Yeah.
play how it's supposed to.
And I think that because even for Gilbert worked for the city of Los Angeles. He worked for Metro. But, when you look at other people with the same skill sets, there, you got to have that extra value proposition, right? That underlining magic sauce, as I tell the kids,
Yep.
your super talent, right? And your
Yep.
super talent is because you have seen it from the inside. Gilbert,
Hmm. Yeah.
he what he does on the outside as a consultant is what he did on the inside
Yeah.
working for someone else. So he knows both sides of it, which makes him very talented at what he does, because he's not seeing it from one side.
Yep. That's why I love.
Exactly.
That's kind of a big part of what we do as well. How we promote what we do too is just like opening up perspective, because that's something that that one of the ways that working my full-time job has opened up kind of opportunities for my business is that just seeing that one. That those types of industries lack diversity anyway. Like they're not, you know what I mean? Like the people that we work with and that we collaborate with to complete these projects for Hulu and Apple TV Plus and stuff, it's not diverse. You know what I mean? And so there's an opportunity, a need for that I would have never saw if I didn't get into this position and be there. So it was just like a million ways that it kind of turned around and you know what I mean? It became something positive, something that I was kind of just like scaring myself out of. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so your next step, Odyssey, is woman-owned certifications, government contracts, right?
yep, that's literally
All right, all right. See, we'll be able to help you in that area. So that's gonna be good.
you mentioned something about by the end of this year you wanted so many businesses on the call to be certified into
Yeah,
security contracts, and I'm going to be one of those businesses.
yeah. Well, good, good. That's what I want because that's the only way. And you mentioned earlier that entrepreneurs or small business need to get out of their own way. That's the only way they're going to get out of their own way and elevate themselves, not having to wait for another pandemic where people are going to give them something to
Yeah,
lift them up. No, they're going to
Yeah.
work on their own. Yeah.
yeah,
And she's doing it the right way. She's laying her foundation so
Yeah.
that it's strong. So when
Hmm.
it does happen, she will be ready for that, right? So
Hmm.
you could easily have one of those contracts for your company with
Yeah.
Hulu and HDV or any of those, because
right.
now you would be that support. And it's so interesting because sometimes when we think about diversity, yeah, it's fantastic work if you're working on the inside, but even if you have a contract with them,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because the contract is going to be more lucrative than your work relationship with them anyway, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
just so you know, I had an associate of mine that she did marketing. She probably still does.
Mhm.
Does marketing just like you do, and brand awareness, brand design, and she, we worked together. We got contracts with Edison and all these other places. She has done work for Crystal too, through Edison. And that's what we do. We just go throughout. We try to access government contracts and help to grow the business. So
Yeah.
those are some of the things we would like to see for you.
Yeah, and me as well, because that's something that, like I said before, even meeting meeting Crystal and taking the classes at the Urban League, I didn't even know that was like a thing. Because
Yeah.
as I mentioned earlier, I started literally just doing this. I went to business school, but I never intended to be an entrepreneur, and so
Yeah.
I don't, everything that I've learned up to this point has kind of just been like figuring it out.
Yeah.
You literally opened the door that I'm like, wow, like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
then I'm excited to move
Yeah.
forward. Whereas before I was, stressed and thinking, how does my business go from here to here?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like, because you see working full time and you see what what it looks like and what you need and the capital that you need to be able to support employees and, impact people the way you want to impact them. And you're like, how do I do that? How does that work? Like, how do I go from this to that? And so you literally,
Well, the carrot that you're going to use as your guide to attract you to those opportunities is $500 billion in government contracts. Okay, that's the carrot you're going to use. So first, we're going to get you certified in a couple of areas, and then once you get certified, then we're going to start looking at those contracts. Start getting your piece of the pie.
and and another thing, and it still will work in your favor because all of these organizations are still having to position themselves about diversity and inclusion. So
Yeah.
if you're helping them drive that media marketing and from someone that understands it, right? Because sometimes they just grab anybody off the street and say, okay, you're
Yeah.
going to be the
exactly.
diversity inclusion person.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
then, they make a mistake, right? Because
Yeah.
they're not coming from the same place we're coming from.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes, that's the piece right there. And that's something that I've noticed too in like seeking out like resources and help is that a lot of times there are things that people say are for us, but like once you like dig into it, they're not like, you know what I mean? It's not really what they are saying it is, and it's because they're coming from a perspective that is not that where they don't understand us. You know, they understand what it's like to be a business owner, and they're trying to tell us how to be a business owner, but they're not understanding what it's like to be a Black business owner, which is totally
Right.
different. And then, you know, and then for me, a Black woman business owner, you can find people who give resources for being a woman business owner and resources for being a business owner, but not resources for being a Black woman business owner.
Well, in addition to that, too, you have folks out there who work for certain agencies. You know, some of them are government agencies, and they're employees. They're not entrepreneurs like we are, and they're trying to tell you as an entrepreneur how to run your business. It's like, come on, you're an employee. You never run a business before.
Right.
How are you going to tell us what challenges we're going through? You know.
Right,
and I think that the only way that we'll progress and kind of move away from, because the number that I've been consistently using with people is that, you know, but right now Black people are we're the ethnicity that's starting businesses the most, but we're also only 4% of those businesses make it past 3 years, which is just the stage.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of it is because, you know, just connection, like making those connections.
It's the connection and the exposure. And because they don't, like we just said at the beginning, they don't start with a marketing plan, right? They don't have the funds to allocate to a marketing fund.
They don't, because they're coming from a point of survival rather than a point of intention of here's an opportunity, here's somewhere that I see that I could, like, you know, insert a product or service and make life better. It's more so like I got to get money somehow, same way. Job. I got 3 kids. I got a part-time job. I'm also selling plates on the side. Like, that's literally how it starts out for us. Is it's a thing of survival, and so that whenever people are trying to help us, they don't understand that. Again, like they're trying to what you need to do, and we're like, wait a minute, we don't even. But where do you get that? Where, you know, where does that come from?
Right, exactly. Because this business, all of a sudden, I couldn't find work. So if I can hustle up whatever I need to hustle up, and it takes care of my financial obligations, okay, I feel like I'm successful, right? I got a roof over my head, I'm driving a car, and I can eat, and my kids can eat. So anything over and above that is like gravy. That's like hitting a lottery, right? And knowing that certain businesses, you can be that way, right? You can be that way, but you know, yes, it is a survival thing for a lot of us, because we can't find, and even if you did, the number of jobs you have to have in order to make ends meet. You know, you got to have 5, 6, 7 jobs to live in Los Angeles. But as an entrepreneur, you can make that happen, you know, with a couple of contracts, right? So it's a difference, and just getting them to understand that is all the key.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Odyssey, you have a lot of support here on our chat. You know, folks are saying, "Hey, go Odyssey, go!" And some people are saying, "Thank you so much for supporting Black women business owners."
Yay.
They're loving you, Odyssey. They're loving you. And this is from Jasmine. This is from Jasmine Haley.
Yeah, you got that vibe. But as I said, it's this new generation, or this younger generation that's coming with, you guys are coming with power, and I like that. But at the same time, conscious about your people, conscious about your communities, and wanting to be supportive and collaborative, because that is the key to successful business owners, is being able to collaborate without ego. And wanting everyone to grow within your surroundings. I mean, it's so much better to celebrate our successes, as opposed to me celebrating my successes and worried that you're trying to take my success, right? Why don't you come along for the ride, and then we can celebrate together? And I think that's so important. And today, in the marketing advertising world, it's so different than, you know, I remember, because before, when I started my business, there was no internet. I mean, it was starting, but there was nothing. We had MySpace, right? So wasn't doing what I needed. So that meant I had to develop an extensive network, because I did not have that social platform that I could post stuff and bring people in. I had to go to every networking event. I had to make sure when I got in a room, everybody knew me. I had to speak. I had to volunteer. I had to do all kinds of stuff to be able to gather what I have today.
See, when I started Odyssey, they were using pigeons as communication. They put the message on the pigeon and send them. They fly away.
Well, you had to do media. You had to do print media. I
Yeah,
advertised in local
yeah.
papers. But what I did was I've always thought working for organizations that are or servicing my target market was the best way. So they are obviously have the audience, they have the money, so they can spend the big money on advertising. Just bring me in, let me do what I need to do, and then I can grow my network, my network and my client base based upon that. And so that has been my technique over the years. And I give or say now I teach for four organizations, and some days it's like, whoa, I don't have enough room for clients. I don't have enough calendar open
So
space.
I know when I
But
try to have a meeting, you're always really good.
yeah, man, whenever you go, yeah. So lately it's been like that. And the pandemic was incredible for Gilbert and I. I mean,
Yeah,
terrible situation, but
Right.
yeah.
what it did for us, and it probably is doing for you as well, finally, all the things that we had been saying for the last 10,
Mm-hmm.
15 years
Mm-hmm.
about getting your foundation solid, by making sure you have your books in order, that you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to get ready, you already ready.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they weren't ready.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
You think?
They learned the hard way.
Right,
They
exactly.
learned the
And so
hard
at
way.
that point, we don't even have to push too much now. Heck,
Right.
they are like lining up. When can I get in? You can't, I need you now. Hey, hey. Because they recognize all the things. And I
That is
tease some of my
hard.
clients. Right. I see when I was out there begging y'all to take my QuickBooks classes, I mean, I was literally begging you. I was giving it to you for free.
For free.
And I get one or two clients. Now I must teach QuickBooks 3-4 times a week. I
Yeah.
think two last week I had classes back to back.
Yeah.
I taught 3 QuickBooks classes in one day last
That was
Wednesday.
that was crazy, man. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
I was dreaming QuickBooks by the time, and
Yeah.
then I think in between that, I may have even had a consultation with you. So it was 3 classes and a consult.
You
But
stay busy. You stay.
yeah,
I admire your dedication, you and Gilbert, to just supporting other people and giving back to Black businesses. Or not even Black businesses, small business. I'm sorry, just because
small businesses.
yeah, that in general just takes you getting up every day and consciously and intentionally
Yeah,
being like, this is where I'm going to put my energy, where I'm going to put, my time and my resources and my services for the day is just making sure that other people are successful. So it's like you can't lose when you do that. You know what I mean? Because like you said
right.
before, again, you're sharing successes with other people rather than just yourself because you're helping
Mm-hmm.
other people win. So that's a big part of what we do too. It's like you win, when you win, we win. You know what I mean? And we all win, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
you're living in your purpose. That's what I call it, living in your
Absolutely
purpose.
same. Yes, me too.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
Gilbert.
what are some of the upcoming things for Odd Media Solutions, and what are some of your next steps? Do you have classes coming up? You got training, you got one-on-one coaching. What do you have coming up for your clients?
So, what's really exciting is we just launched a collaboration program where we are collaborating with people in the marketing and advertising industry all over the country. We have people in Atlanta, we have people in New York, we have people in Philly, we have people in Arizona, just all over that are interested in helping us expand our reach. So they're going to be kind of just out on the ground doing grassroots kind of outreach to people, to Black businesses specifically, for the resources that we have available, and then also to just small businesses for the how they can support and be a part of what we've got going on. So we're in the process of, I think we maybe have like 5 or 6 people who are currently training and working to become a part of our team in that capacity. But we are also, like I said, going into 2023, we have a lot of exciting things coming in terms of content, in terms of resources for our audience. So we do right now, we currently do have training that we do, one-on-one training. So through the Black Digital Network, the businesses and the subsidized services that we provide, is if you don't have the resources or the capital to pay us to do it for you, then we can give you the resources and we can give you tools and show you and give you, provide you with a team member, somebody on our team who can help you as you walk through it. And so specifically for like social media services, we'll train you on how to like create the graphics and everything. We'll also work with you to come up with the actual strategy and plan. And then from quarterly, we'll sit down with you. We'll have somebody from our team sit down with you and look at everything that you've done and figure out how you can repivot from there. And so the goal of that is literally to help to support you in supporting yourself to a point where you're like, okay, I don't have the time to do it anymore. I gotta focus on doing X, Y, Z because I have so many orders coming in, or I have, so many appointments that are, that are on my calendar. And so the resources that we provide vary, but mainly we work with training, like I said, on doing graphics through like Canva, which is a free platform that you can sign up for to create graphics. We provide you with a social media scheduler so that you can create content, and we teach you how to create content, like do content days and have your content and everything you want to, put out for the month or the next couple of months laid out, and how to, do that in 1 or 2 days or a weekend and get that all scheduled. And then again, have a meeting quarterly where you can look at it and say, that didn't do so well, but I spent a lot of time making that video. Why didn't that do so well? And so we do that. And then of course, through Odd Media Solutions, or through the Black Digital Network, you always are eligible for discounts based on just what you do. So if you're like, we have nonprofit organizations, for example, that we just awarded 50% off of our services, our package, one of our lowest packages for 12 months, so that they can get off the ground and be successful and have our support for the next 12 months as they, solidify their foundation. And then at the end of that 12 months, then they'll be able to pay us full price, if that makes sense.
Because you're helping. You're actually letting them try it out to see that it works, right? And they can see that their numbers are increasing, that their revenue is increasing. So now they can justify. You got the matrix to justify the why it does work, as opposed to what they would have been doing before. I think that's just brilliant. Gilbert and I are gonna definitely have to sit down with you. We both want to see the Business Zone gather and I mean it's a much needed resource, and we want to make sure that it's utilized, and that we have a onslaught of guests that are coming here sharing, and at the same time us growing our numbers, so that we not necessarily go viral, but we're consistently there, and this is a network where you can come to get whatever you need.
Absolutely. Right. And I think that literally already I've started telling people, because this is something that I was looking for, you know what I mean? Like I said, for the last 2 years, but even just like somewhere where I could come and listen in the background of why I'm working, listen to, get advice from people who look like me, people who, not necessarily just business owners, like I was saying earlier, but Black business owners, because it's so different for us, and hearing people's stories and being inspired by that. So I definitely think that you guys have the content. We just got to make that connection and connect it with the people. And then I think that's something that me and you talked about as well, is just like how there are a lot of resources that are available that like you guys have, and that you're trying to get out to people, but and that we're looking for, but just like trying to make that connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you can help us connect, you tell us what we need to do, because I would love that, because that's ultimately why we created this platform, is so that it would be that resource. So you will know where to go, and
to hear free. So that's one thing that people love to hear, is free. So this is a free resource.
Right, exactly. And a lot of a lot of talented people out there with a lot of great resources and tools that we have gathered that can make your life so much easier. But at the same time, we do our marketing stuff, but I think at this point you need a little assistance in
Right.
getting it out there so we can, and I'd love to have a steady a stream to the point where we have to hire a production manager
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
manage all the guests that's coming in,
Yeah.
and we do what we do. But being able to have a steady stream of people that are coming on as guests.
Yeah. Well, I know some people that come to the top of mind that I'll send your all's way as well, just off top, because like I said, and that's what I do. Is that, my clients usually come to me and they're like, "What do you have for me?" So I'm like, and this is a way for them to get their business out there. So I'll definitely be connecting you all with people too.
Okay, that'd be fantastic. I'll send you over the sign up. All they have to do is sign up, and then you'll get this goes up on YouTube. I promote on YouTube once I would actually more from the content side in the description box, and then I actually upload it to, I think, actual podcast channels.
Like Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
We're on Apple. I use Podbean, and it just disperses it out. So we're on Pandora. It's about 12 of them right now that we're on Apple, iTunes, and some others, Android, Google Play, and all that sort of stuff. So, and to be able to grow that. Now that one actually, because it is a whole network of people that are always looking for great content on podcasting. So on those podcast channels. So, but then the visual, is one thing. It takes a little longer to grow it on a YouTube. The one thing that I have found to be a challenge, you tell people to go subscribe and they're like, is it going to cost me on YouTube? It's like, so you have to make sure you explain to them it's free to subscribe on YouTube. Not a big deal. Just click that button, man. That's all you got to do is click. But it seems to be hard. Who would have thought? I mean, I subscribe to tons of podcasts all the time because I like to be able to get the notifications, and not the same with some people. So it's like those are some of our goals. But
I definitely think that we can make it happen. So we'll have to do that.
Okay, well, that's fantastic.
Odyssey, we are very excited that you came on the show. And I'm sure our audience is like, they're going, wow, where were they hiding her? This is a gem. So they're excited. So now that they've got you here, and now that they've got the video on YouTube and on Facebook, they can go back to it from time to time, and they'll just garner all that knowledge that you just spewed out on us, okay?
And it's on her channel right now, so she just needs to just push it out on her channel over there.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's awesome, my dear. So you have a birthday coming up, right?
I do.
When? Quando? When?
27 on the 27th of this month.
Well, October?
No, this month.
No, July.
Oh, this month?
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that! You're Virgo, huh?
Leo.
Oh, Leo. Oh,
well, happy birthday! If I don't see you, and I think you're going out of town, so you have a fantastic. I told her when she told me, I was like, 27. Whoa, what was that like, man? But I was enjoying myself. I will say that I was enjoying myself at 27.
That's the look. I gotta take that. That's the nugget I need to take from that to get back to
well, you go enjoy yourself, have a lot of fun, and then come back to work so we can make this government money, okay?
Thank you guys so much.
Hey, not a problem.
So welcome, Odyssey. It's been a pleasure, and we're glad. We are so happy that you agreed to be on our show. And so we're going to end the show. You guys have been tuned into the Business Zone with Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic.
And so tune in every week at 3:00, and you never know. Gilbert and I may be doing class in session, or we may have an amazing guest like we had today.
Yeah.
And you will get a wisdom, a treasure test of available valuable knowledge that will help you grow your business. So tune in every Saturday. Oh Lord have mercy, every Friday at 3 o'clock. And Odyssey, you have any parting words that you would like to leave with this small business community?
Just thank you guys and keep at it. Don't ever give up. If you got a dream that you want to do, make it happen.
You do the same thing. So with that, Gilbert, anything exciting coming up for you next week?
Well, next week I know I've got the Biz Camp with your young entrepreneurs.
Oh,
I'm gonna be presenting to them again. I'm very excited about that. I do think I have a class for Vermont Slauson. They want me to do a business plan class and how to write a winning business plan, which I'm ready for. I've got a template. That we're gonna use. So that's gonna be
cool.
amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my new women's business classes next week. I got you'll need sales to make business work, and I got another class, I think, besides the business camp. Oh no, I only have one class next week, so that's cool. One class and 2 shows. That's right. Quieter week next week.
You're gonna need a vacation after this too, just like Odyssey, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm going to Egypt probably the latter part of the first part of September.
Well, you go represent, co-host. You go represent on behalf of the business zone. That's right, man. Let's go represent. All right.
All righty. So we are going to end the show. You want to take us out, Gilbert?
Yep, I'll take you guys out, and we'll see you all next week. Odyssey, you don't leave. We need to talk to you after this, so you stay put, stay online. And for those of you who've tuned in, this is a Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4, and again, like I say, if our guest is interesting, we'll take it on to 4:30, which happened today. So our guest was very exciting today. So without any other information, we're gonna step out of here, and this is a big.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.